In a vineyard, the vine dresser has to, at the end of every season, prune those vines. He cuts out the old branches. Maybe some of them have died. Maybe some of them are not very fruitful. And so by pruning those branches, he then makes it so that the rest of the branches can produce more fruit, a better quality fruit. And that's what God does for us in our lives. And he goes into our life and he begins to do that pruning, and you will be far more capable of bearing more fruit, better fruit, a higher quality fruit. And so I know in my own life, when I really got serious about getting habitual sin and addiction out of my life, I began abiding in Christ, and I began to grow in the fruits of the Spirit. But now it didn't all happen overnight. It is a process. You grow a little bit of fruit. God comes in and says, you're doing good, but here, let me help you out. Let me prune a little bit for you. And then you start to bear a little more fruit. And then over time, it's almost an exponential growth. And God continues that pruning process, and he helps you to grow and become more mature in your walk of faith. And you begin to see more and more victories. I know for me, when I first started my recovery journey, it took me a good 8 or 9 months before I got all of the most severe habitual sins and addictions brought under control. And it happened one at a time. The first one came within a couple weeks, but then it took a couple months to kind of work through the next one, and then a few months more to work through the next one. And then even after I got those major things out of my life, I still, for the next year and a half, battle with smaller things, what we would call, what might be the gateways to those bigger things, that I then had to start closing them down. And so it was a process. And I'm thrilled to say today that because of Jesus, I am a much better person than I was 2 years ago. Not perfect. I still got a lot of growing to do, but I am willing and I am submitted to Christ, and I am going forward in God's grace, trusting that he's going to continue to help me to grow and to bear even more fruit